What is up, everybody? On today's Unbiased Hard Take, you already know it is game day eve. It was the night before game day, so you already know that I got my cheese head on, celebrating a third straight year of Green Bay Packers playoff football. You have to earn your way in the playoffs. Playoffs are a very, very hard thing to make in the NFL, and for Green Bay to be a regular participant in the playoffs under Brett Favre, Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers. So, I mean, it's been very good to be a Packers fan in my lifetime. So that's to be mentioned. Go Pack Go. We got a big one against the Bears tomorrow. So you already know that I came prepared with my cheesehead. We do have a couple things we're going to talk about. We're going to predict all NFL wild card action with you guys here. I didn't do so good picking last week's games. I picked Baltimore over Pittsburgh. That was not very good. I did pick Minnesota to beat Green Bay. That ended up working out relatively well. So I did not do very good on last week's prediction. So we're looking to rebound this week. You already know we came prepared. So a couple announcements we want to make. I did the Unbiased Hard Take second annual Fantasy Football League has concluded, to where I did defeat Team Man. I was Puppy Flavor Camp, and I do have my trophy right here that sits in the Unbiased Hard Take desk now. And again, you guys see that on our Facebook page. Link to that will be in the description down below. Check us out on Facebook. We actually had a Facebook post reach over 200 people and had a lot of likes, a couple shares by people. So that was very good. It was our NFL playoff picture that showed the final standings. So that was very good. We appreciate the love on Facebook. And again, please go like on there if you haven't done so. We have a lot of good content. Sports Fact of the Day. JB talks about the Steelers quite a bit on our Facebook page. And appreciate the support on that post and in general. And also go subscribe on YouTube. Don't be afraid to do that because we are nearing 100. And a lot of our videos, I think, last 3 or 4 or 5 videos it seems, have just the comments. Boom, 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 boom. A lot of our older videos, no comments. It's a smaller channel. We actually got some Bears fans. I did see a couple of you Bears fans on there. So we do welcome all 32 NFL teams. I talk a lot of crap about the Bears, so get used to that, and I expect it right back because it's the best sports rivalry and definitely the best NFL rivalry, but the best sports rivalry in my opinion. We got round 3 coming, so I'm excited. That's tomorrow. But we are going to jump right in, and we're just going to predict first is tomorrow's first game, which will be the Carolina Panthers hosting, that's weird, a losing team, hosting a playoff game. And see, I don't necessarily have a problem with it. Go back and look at the Beastquake game. Seahawks hosted a playoff game. I believe that was against the Saints. And they beat them. And they had no right beating them, people said. But they ultimately were able to beat them. And that Beastquake game would not have happened, a big moment in NFL history, if the Seahawks weren't allowed that opportunity. So the Panthers, absolutely, they won their division. Every team in the NFL starts the season wanting to win their division. That's the first goal, and they did that. It's not their fault that the Falcons, Saints, and Buccaneers are crapshoots. It's not their fault. They're the best in the division, and they deserve it. But I am not going to be picking the Panthers to win this game. I will be picking the Rams to win this game. And I think, obviously, you all know the Panthers beat the Rams less than a month ago. And I don't really look at a lot of betting odds, but I did see a report that the Panthers were like 10-point underdogs at home. They're a playoff team hosting a playoff game for their first time since the Cam Newton era. They've hosted a playoff game. So for them, they're not going to get beat by 10 points, I don't think. I mean, they've already beaten the Rams one time within a month ago, 31-28, and Young had a great game with 3 touchdowns that game. So I don't expect the Rams, however, to overlook the Panthers. I think they may have done that the first game. But I do think the Rams will win by a touchdown. But to say this is going to be a blowout is absolutely false. This will be a one-possession game. The Panthers, Bryce Young, over 3,000 passing yards. He sort of, at this point in his career, looks like a franchise quarterback, in my opinion. I mean, I don't think necessarily he's obviously Josh Allen, anything like that. He's not a top 10. But compared to how we were looking at him a couple years ago, I mean, we were looking at him as flat out straight bust for the Panthers. And here we are now, I have the stats right here, 3,011 yards, 23 tutties, 11 picks, 87.8 QBR, so above average, and winning your division and hosting a playoff game for the Panthers for the first time since your former league MVP, Cam Newton. I'd say that's a pretty good season. I'd say that he's shown enough, obviously. I don't think he deserves top 10 money in the NFL, but I do think to say he deserves top 15 NFL money at this point is absolutely fair. So I do think that Bryce Young is a very good quarterback. I don't think he's great or elite. I don't think he's a future Hall of Famer or even a Pro Bowler, really. But he's very good. He's sort of like an Andy Dalton almost when he was with the Bengals. Just doesn't have as much talent. And they're getting him talent because you have McMillan, who's a Rookie of the Year favorite, and he's the betting favorite, and he's my favorite too, over 1,000 yards, and really a weak rookie class this year for offensive players. I mean, he did over 1,000 yards for the Panthers, showed to be a number one receiver for them, which they desperately needed, and they're hosting a playoff game. They made the playoffs, won their division. So McMillan's absolutely deserving. He's a good playmaker, and the Rams do struggle with the deep ball, so I do think that Bryce Young and McMillan will be able to hook up for one of those. And I actually do think the Panthers will take an early lead, but don't expect them. The Rams are just a better team. Matt Stafford's my personal MVP this season, so I don't expect the Rams to overlook them. They'll win by 7. They'll pull away late in the game because they are the better team. But don't overlook the Panthers. They're a playoff team. They're here because they earned it. Nothing was given to you. Nothing's given to you in the NFL. But Rams win. Then you have round 3, baby. And this one's going to get heated because I don't really have a lot of stats for you because both teams are coming in on a losing streak right now. I actually seen a stat that the last time the Bears won was against the Packers, and the last time the Packers won a game, it was against the Bears. So someone's breaking a losing streak tomorrow in Chicago, and this is actually only the 3rd time these teams have met in the playoffs all time, considering this rivalry is over 100 years old. That's crazy to think. And the first time the Bears won, the last time, which was the 2010 NFC Championship game, Green Bay won. So it's tied 1-1 all-time playoffs, so that'll get broken tomorrow as well. So we'll love to see that. And I made a bet with a Bears fan on a profile picture, so we'll see how that goes for me. But Green Bay's getting a little healthier. I did see that Wicks was ruled out. Diggs is on the roster. He actually played relatively decent against the Vikings in the last game of the season for what it's worth. Made a couple tackles, did not have any big plays, was running across the field pretty well. I watched him close. All wide receivers except for Wicks are expected to play, so that's good. Zach Tom reports are he's expected to play. He is questionable, so we'll see. But here's the reality. Coming into this season, Green Bay had Super Bowl expectations. Xavier McKinney said it during the losing streak that when we came into the season before we even got Micah, we got Micah like a week before the season started. I mean, before we got Micah, we were expected to make a deep run anyway. That was our expectation was Super Bowl. That's the Super Bowl expectation in Green Bay. So we don't have Micah Parsons now. He's hurt. It sucks. It sucks. It hurt our team. There's no denying it. It's going to be harder now. Duh. But wake up. A lot of Packers fans I've already seen on Facebook are talking about the offseason and firing Matt LaFleur and what are we going to do in the offseason. Who gives a crap about the offseason? Who gives a shit? Our season's not over yet. We're one of 14 of 32 teams. Less than half of the league misses the playoffs. Over half of the league in the NFL misses the playoffs. Only 14 of 32 teams make it. It's a low percentage. It's hard to make it in the NFL. 14 teams have earned a chance to hoist a Lombardi. All 14 have a chance. It's a single elimination. It's not the NBA where you have a 7-game series to where we automatically know that the 1 seed's going to beat the 8 seed and things of that. It's not like the NBA. This is a 1-game season at this point. Why are we talking about the offseason? Where's the title expectations? Where's the enthusiasm? Where's the ownership from the fans? The fans, I own the team. I'm an owner. You see my certificate upstairs. Where is the support for the Pack? Because I understand it's been frustrating during these last few games, losing and things of that nature, but we still finished with a winning record. We were in the playoffs, and truly, let's be honest, in both games, the Packers played the Bears. The Packers played better than them, except for that last 2 minutes in overtime of the last game, where we absolutely blew it, and the Bears deserved to win that game. They earned it. I'm not taking that away, but let's not act like Green Bay has not played better than Chicago most of the 2 games they played them. And that's facts. So, I think Chicago has a chance to win this game. I am nervous. Normally, I go in and say it's ownership week, things of that nature, but the Bears have earned my respect. They were a joke, a laughingstock for years. And really, it's good to see this rivalry reinvented because the Bears have not always sucked in my fandom. They were really good in 2010. They made the Super Bowl in 2007. I watched that game. So, the Bears have been in the playoffs a couple times, even recent with that Urlacher days, the Lance Briggs days. So the Bears were not always a trash organization. They were not always badly ran. And to see this rivalry sort of get reinvented a little bit and being brought back to life, it's really good for football, really good for the Packers, really good for the Bears. But I'm going to pick, this is hard. I mean, Chicago has a real, nah, just joking. You know I'm picking Green Bay, baby. I just went into that rant about how Packers fans need to have faith. Chicago is a good team, but they have a little bit of a losing streak themselves too. So both teams are coming in limping. History says Green Bay will win, but even with that, I just think that Jordan Love is better than Caleb Williams is, and I think our defense will be able to get enough stops to where Green Bay will win by 3 on a game-winning field goal as time expires. This game will be good. Either team could win. But I'm picking my pack, you already know, for Jordan Love's second playoff win in his career. That's what I'm picking. I do think Chicago has a real chance to win this game. I'll be super depressed all offseason if we lose in the playoffs to the Bears. But I do think that is a reality. I do think Chicago has a chance. But give me the pack, baby. The pack is back. But then moving on, we're going to talk about the Bills versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. And here's the reality. There's no excuses for Josh Allen anymore. I've been called a Josh Allen hater, and at this point, that's probably true. But at this point, it's justified because the man can't even get to a Super Bowl. And if it's not now, it's never. I'm going to go off on Josh Allen if he loses this game. Because this time, there's no Burrow. There's no Lamar Jackson. There's no Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs this year. This is truly a wide open year. If Allen does not win a Super Bowl this season, then when will he? He won't. He'll be like Jim Kelly, the best that never did it. Dan Marino, the best of the losers. Yay. Cool. Whatever. It's now or never. And that's the reality. And really, I don't think the Bills' defense can stop Trevor Lawrence and their offense. I mean, the Jags are at home, and the Bills are 0-8 in away home playoff games. The Jags went to Denver and slapped the best team around in the NFL. In Denver, which no one has been able to do. Not even my Packers could do that. They had a lead, 2-possession lead in the third quarter, and ended up losing by multiple touchdowns. And then it's just the Broncos were the hottest team in the league, and no one's talking about how Jacksonville went in there and just beat the crap out of them and slaughtered them, made them look ordinary. And that's been hard to do this season. They're the number 1 seed, and the favorite really to go to the Super Bowl, in my opinion. And I'm not necessarily willing to say that yet. But Jacksonville's no joke, and I don't think Josh Allen will ever win a Super Bowl. He's going to be ringless. I don't think he'll ever get to a Super Bowl because I don't think the Bills will beat Jacksonville here. I think Jacksonville will win this game by about 6 points. I think it'll be between 3 and 7. It'll be around something in between that. It'll be a close game, but I think Trevor Lawrence will have the ball late, and Josh Allen won't see the ball again, because their defense won't be able to stop them, and they'll get a first down and run the clock out. That's my prediction. The Bills' defense is not good enough to stop Trevor Lawrence, and that's facts. So I do think Jacksonville gets the win here, and if they get the win against the Bills and Josh Allen loses not only the division to a second-year quarterback and a new head coach for the Patriots, but also loses in round 1 of the playoffs, Sean McDermott's head might be on the chopping block at that point, and I'm going to go off. Because at that point, Josh Allen will just be all stats. And a DEI MVP award. And that's just the reality of the situation. Most overrated player in the league, Josh Allen. And it's not even close. Where's the Super Bowl? Where's the Super Bowl appearance? Jalen Hurts is better. I went on that rant many times. We don't have time for that again today. But Josh Allen gets his little cute regular season DEI MVP. Jalen Hurts gets Super Bowl MVPs and beats Mahomes. Josh Allen cries to Daddy Mahomes. And that's just reality. But speaking of Jalen Hurts, we're going to move on to the Eagles, who play the 49ers. This is probably, in my opinion, the hardest game to pick because the Eagles at times, they just looked incompetent. Especially on offense with all that talent. There's just moments and halves, quarters, they just disappear. Even that game they beat Buffalo, they started really hot. I mean, Jalen Hurts was throwing dimes out there, like showing why he's a Super Bowl MVP and the second best quarterback in the league. But then there's times they just look abysmal for quarters and disappear. But I do think the Eagles will win this game. I think the 49ers are badly injured. They got so many injuries that I do think Philadelphia, especially on defense right now, is shutting people down. And I think the Eagles will be able to force a couple turnovers from Brock Purdy, and their defense will ultimately hold it in it for them, and the offense will score enough points. I mean, all season long, all we heard about was how the Eagles and A.J. Brown's stats aren't the same. Is he washed up? Oh my God, he's so angry. He has you would have thought he had 400 yards in the season. Let's look. How did he do? Oh look, over 1,000 yards again. Devontae Smith. He wasn't even the only. A.J. Brown's not even the only 1,000-yard receiver on the team, because Devontae Smith had over 1,000 yards too. Saquon Barkley had over 1,000 yards rushing. Jalen Hurts had 33 total touchdowns, over 3,500 total yards, passing, rushing combined, and only 6 total turnovers. Interceptions and fumbles lost counted. Unlike everyone else's stats, I actually give you everything. And they all have a ring for it. A.J. Brown's just a crybaby. That's just a reality. All he cares about stats. He got his Super Bowl ring, and he wants to be a 2,000-yard receiver now. And the overreaction was just absurd, because there was no issue with the Eagles or A.J. Brown this season at any point. They were winning games. They won their division. They're the reigning Super Bowl champions. Over 1,000 yards for all. We just went through the stats. It was just truly an embarrassment. The people who were saying that have low football IQ. It's just straight up. But Eagles win. I do think this will be about a 7-point game. I just think the 49ers are too badly injured to win. So yeah, give me the Eagles beating up an injured 49er team. And then the Patriots will beat the Chargers. No, rule number 1. I've said it on this podcast before that I will never bet on the Chargers again. Because there's literally a saying in the league. You can look it up on Google, it's real. The Chargers will continue charging. They will find a way to lose this game. Where's Justin Herbert's playoff win? Jordan Love has more playoff wins than Justin Herbert. Tua has the same amount. 0. And that's just, it's absurd to me that Justin Herbert is the only quarterback who gets really, truly no hate. Because there is a small group of people who question Josh Allen. But no one, it seems, except for me, questions Justin Herbert, who has never won his division. And it doesn't really bother me because Jordan Love's never won his division either. But he's won a playoff game. Justin Herbert can't even get to the playoffs on a regular season, which Jordan Love does. And Jordan Love won a playoff game. The Chargers are going to lose this game. The Patriots are the better team. They did have a weaker schedule, but I trust Vrabel. Mike Vrabel will have those guys ready to play. He's won playoff games, got to an AFC Championship game with the freaking Titans and Ryan Tannehill. I'm sure they'll be just fine. May is arguably the league MVP. I do think the Patriots had a 4th-place schedule this year, obviously, because of the year before that they were horrible. So they had easily the weakest schedule I've seen, really, in my fandom of any team. It was kind of crazy how weak their schedule was. So we'll see how real they are next year. But I do think the Patriots win this game. I just don't trust Justin Herbert or the Chargers. The Chargers will charger. They will probably have they'll have a double-digit lead. I'm going to predict the Chargers will be up by 10 points early and they'll blow it and lose barely at the end. That's what they do. And Herbert won't get any hate. He'll get a pass because he led them there, yeah. And he's the only quarterback that's treated that way. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, Patriots win. And then to our Monday night football game, we have Texans and Steelers. And it's good to see JB's video where he was really, really hyped up because of the Steelers and my Packers are both playoff teams, and that was his Super Bowl prediction. So his Super Bowl prediction still pans out. Mine does not. I did have Green Bay beating Kansas City in my Super Bowl prediction. JB has Steelers beating Green Bay out of a Super Bowl 45 revenge. So my winner's still in it. Both of his teams are still in it. So that's good to see for the unbiased. Shows our good football IQ that we are shooting 3 for 4. But I'm actually going to take the Steelers here. I think Rodgers has one more postseason run in him. I do think that they'll end up losing probably next week in the divisional round. But that missed field goal by Loop was the football gods. And Tomlin at home on Monday Night Football is undefeated at home all time. He's been the coach for 19 seasons, and all time on Monday night at home, he's undefeated. That is scary impressive. Tomlin teams come to show up when they have to. They crap the bed when they don't have to show up, like they did against Cleveland, because they knew they still had a week to prove it. He's a rah-rah motivator. hard to get you guys motivated when it's not a do or die situation. Obviously, playoffs are do or die. Most people are going to pick the Texans to win this game. Really, the Texans have a great defense, but their offense is extremely inconsistent, especially in the red zone. My God, they're awful in the red zone. I would say I don't know the exact stats, are probably not 32. They're probably close, but I would say they're the worst red zone team in the league, especially out of the contenders, and it's not close. Because I think Rodgers has one more playoff win in him, and I understand that Texans defense is like legendary good, but I trust Aaron Rodgers, a future Hall of Famer, one of the GOATs, Super Bowl champion already, second most league MVPs of all time behind Peyton Manning, to make good, right decisions on the day, and I don't think they'll turn the ball over. They get DK Metcalf back. Jaylen Warren's been playing good football. TJ Watt is back. So I do think the Steelers will get the win here and pull off an upset. So Steelers win this game in overtime. That's my prediction. What do you guys think of my predictions down below? Let me know. Who do you guys have picking? It's playoff time already. Can't believe I'm saying that. But another season where my Packers and JB Steelers did make the playoffs. So it's hard to make the playoffs in the league, like I said. So we just really need to have a moment here and appreciate how awesome it has been to be a Packers fan and for JB to be a Steelers fan and all Packers and Steelers fans out there that our teams are in the playoffs this year. Third year in a row for us. I don't recall for JB's team. I know they were in it last year, so multiple years in a row for the Steelers, and that's hard to do. So we are lucky to be Packers and Steelers fans. I'm not, of course, for JB with the Steelers. I'm all Pack. You all know that. So, again, that's all I got. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, like us on Facebook. Check out the Sports Factor today on our Facebook page. We really appreciate all the love, comments on our shorts. Our post on Facebook had a lot of interaction, a lot of shares for the NFL playoff one a couple days ago. So good to see. Good. Thanks for the unbiased. Really, really appreciate it. A lot of views and the Ks on a lot of our videos and high hundreds for the smaller ones. So we appreciate your guys' support. Hope you all are enjoying the weekend. Enjoy football this weekend because it'll be over before we know it. We only have a couple more weeks of football left before it's over. So enjoy it. But until next time, that's all I got. Let's go Heat. Boiler up, baby. And go Pack. Go, baby. Let's beat the Bears. Let's send them home packing. The Pack is back. 2025 playoff Pack, baby. Let's do this. Go Pack, go.